Hey guys, Robert Webb here with the Destination NJ Home Selling team. Today we're going to do something a little bit different with our market update. We finally finished Q1 in the real estate market, so we're going to bring you a quarterly update and look back at what that looks like compared with 2020 Q1 in Hillsborough. So let's get started with the new listings. This quarter we saw 135 new homes list. That's a 16% decrease over first quarter of last year. Very interesting because the market was very healthy at the beginning of last year and we didn't shut down until the end of February, very beginning of March. So the quarter from last year still had 2 months of very active activity. But we saw 135 homes list ranging anywhere from $145,000 all the way up to 1.5 million with an average list price of 468. Now compare that with last year where we saw an average list price of 467 and it's pretty much a 0% gain year over year in terms of the average list price. But the real story isn't in the average list price, it's in the average sales price. We saw a whopping 28% year over year Q1 of last year to Q1 of this year increase. Last year we saw an average sales price of 366. Compare that with this year, $469,000. Now, of the 135 homes that listed in this quarter, 97 of them have already sold. And that includes the ones that just listed last week, going back all the way to January 1st. And then that leads us into our average days on market. How fast are these homes actually selling? We have a 49% decrease in the average days on market from 2020 to 2021. Last year, we saw 62 average days on market before a home went under contract. This year in 2021, that average is 32 days on market. Now that we took a look at the total inventory for Hillsborough, we're gonna break it down into the single families and then also take a look at the townhomes and condos. Of the total 135 homes that listed this quarter, only 87 of them were single family homes. Compare that with 2020 Q1, when we saw 109 homes list, we have a 20% decrease in the number of single family homes listed last year to this year. Compare that with an average list price of $580,000 this year, compared with $575 last year. So we only saw a 1% increase in the list price year over year, which is very interesting. But again, the story continues to be in the average sales price. Q1 of 2020, we saw an average sales price on the single family side of $460,000. This year, 2021, Q1, $624,000. That's a 36% year over year increase from Q1 last year to Q1 this year. And then we take a look at the average days on market and the story for the total inventory continues. Last year, we saw an average days on market of 66 days. This year, we saw an average days on market of 35, representing a 47% decrease in the amount of time it takes to get your home from on the market to under contract. Now, let's switch gears and take a look at our townhouses and condos. We saw 48 new townhomes and condos hit the market in Q1 of this year. That's an 8% decrease over the 52 in Q1 of 2020. We saw an average list price of $253,000 this year. It's a 2% increase over Q1 of 2020 with an average list price of $249. So the story kind of continues from total to single family to townhomes and condos, that the list price didn't really go up crazy year over year. And then taking a look at what these homes are actually selling for, we saw an average sales price last year of $255,000. Compare that with this year, an average sales price of $258, representing a 1% increase year over year. Not as much as you might think, which I found very interesting, as condos and townhomes do seem to be selling very fast, which is definitely represented here in our average days on market. Last year, it took about 59 days on average to get a home from listed to under contract. We have a 53% decrease here in 2021 with an average days on market of 28 days. So, in the single family space, things are definitely rocketing off. In the condo and townhomes, I'm interested to see that we only saw a 1% increase year over year. Now granted, maybe it was some of the smaller stuff that sold this year compared with some of the bigger stuff that sold last year, but it's still very interesting. One of the reasons I like these quarterly reviews is that we can get a bigger view of the data and compare that with year over year. I want to thank you so much for checking out this market update. We're not going to do a home of the month in these quarterly editions because, well, they're the quarterly editions. We'll bring those back next month when we go back to the monthly updates. If you have any questions, I encourage you to reach out to me. My information is down below. I absolutely love helping people buy and sell homes, especially in these crazy markets. I'm Robert Webb, and I'll see you next month.